Okay, I want to bring your attention to the left side of the screen first. Okay, and I'm looking at the green highlight. Okay, now x squared to the power of 3. Okay, that's that's a power to the power of. Okay, which means you multiply x to the power of 2 times 3. Okay, which equals to x to the power 6. Okay, the reason this is the case is because you can think of it like this. Okay, you can think of this as x squared times x squared times x squared. Okay, because it's 3 times. Okay, so the power of 3. Okay, so the power of 3. And then what do you end up doing in the bottom, in the case of the bottom? You get x to the power of 6. So either way, whether you do it the top way or the bottom way, you still get x to the power of 6. Okay, it's just easier to do it the top way where you just multiply 2 times 3, so you get x to the power 6. So long story short, okay, this is basically what I'm basically saying is that whenever you have a power to the power of, you're basically multiplying. Here you have a power to the power of, you multiply. Okay? Now example 1, let's go ahead and do that. Okay? You start off exactly the same way. I'm going to move this over. Okay? I'll move that over. Okay, so I'm going to get, right now I'm going to get log base 4 of y to the power of 4 to the power of 2. Okay? I want you to pay special attention to how I got this pink highlights right over here. I'll do it in pink. Okay? Look at that. Okay? All right? And I'm going to continue and put this over x to the power of 4 because this gets moved also. Okay? And because this gets moved, we're going to do the same thing. Log base 4 of x squared to the power of 6. Okay? Now look at these pink highlights. Boom. 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 Okay? Look at that. So now this basically becomes, okay, I'll do it in blue. This basically becomes x to the power of 12. This basically becomes y to the power of 8 because we're multiplying those. Okay, look at what I wrote in blue. So now you get log base 4 of x. I'm going to start combining now. X to the power of 12 times y to the power of 8 over x to the power of 4. And we're almost done. Okay, the only new part was the stuff in pink and blue. That's the only new part. Okay. Now everything else is the same. You have 12 x's on top, 4 on bottom. This becomes x to the power of 8 after canceling. And you get log base 4 of x to the power of 8, y to the power of 8. Okay. All right, I'm going to do example 2 and 3 a little quicker. Okay, I'm going to move that over, move that over. The parentheses becomes log base 3, a to the power of 3 to the power of 4, b squared to the power of 6. Let me throw in some pinks here. Okay, boom, boom. That's where the pinks became. Okay, and also here, this gets moved over, and I get log base 3 of a cubed. Okay, now look at the blues. I get a to the power of 12, and oh, this becomes
12 also, and this is b to the power of 12. And then everything else is the same thing we've been doing. Okay, like I said, the only new things on the screen is the blue and pink highlights. Okay, what I wrote in blue and the pink highlights. Okay, and we get a cubed a to the power of 12 over b to the power of 12. Okay, and this basically becomes log base 3 of a to the power of 15 over b to the power of 12. Okay, and that is your second example. Okay. All right, and let's do this last one over here, example 3. Let's pretend okay, not pretend, but let me just do the parentheses. Log base 7, this gets moved, I get d squared to the power of 3 over d squared, haha, I already messed up. Okay. Okay, it's plus, so that means times d squared to the power of 3 times d squared to the power of 5. Okay, and this gets moved also, and I get log base 7 d to the power of 3 to the power of 4. Let me throw in some pink highlights. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and look at what I'm going to write in blue. I'm going to simplify this. This becomes d to the power of 6. This becomes d to the power of 10. And this becomes d to the power of 12. Okay. All right, and I get log base 7 of d to the power of 12, and the bottom becomes d to the power of 16. Okay, because you add 6 and 10. Okay, again, the only new things is the pink, what I wrote in pink, and the blue. Okay, that's the only new thing. And that wraps up today's lesson, folks. Okay.